What's up guys? Today, I'm gonna show you how to build this out. What's up guys? Today we are getting ready for a shoot and we're just gonna show you our FX6 Steadicam rig. So I have the FX6 already built out and here we have our sled. This is the CameTV Pro Stabilizer. It's about $900 brand new as opposed to the thousands and sometimes even upward of $10,000 that a regular Steadicam costs. This Steadicam, the sled has forward, backward, left, right adjustments. It has a HDMI, an SDI, and a DC pass-through, so you have your connections to go from the top to the bottom. I think this is a really great value. So we're gonna set this up, show you guys how we do it. First thing we need is our rod base plate. This is the small rig one. It just has an ARCA type plate mount, which we have on our FX6 here. We use ARCA for everything. If I were to build this out, you know, as big as it possibly could get, I probably wouldn't use ARCA, but for our purposes, it's plenty strong and secure. So I'm gonna slide this on here and tighten that down. So now this base plate will give us our rods, which we're not actually gonna use, but it also gives us a standard RE dovetail plate here that we're going to mount onto our camera or onto our sled here. So we're just gonna throw that on there, lock that down for now while we get the rest of the Steadicam built out. I'm just gonna move the rods so that they're not sticking out. And there's our camera. Next, we need to put a monitor on there. So I'm using the, this is the FeelWorld LUT 7S, great budget monitor. These are about 350 bucks, 2200 nit, maybe 2000 nit, I'm not sure. They're definitely bright enough for daylight use. So we're gonna throw this here at the bottom using this little bracket mount. Kind of an impromptu solution here because finding a yoke mount for like a off-brand Steadicam is nearly impossible for a reasonable price. So I kind of made my own using the arm that they ship with these monitors as kind of a makeshift yoke mount. Now that we have that mounted, we're gonna just slide this in here to just this cold shoe mount that I have added to the base of the Steadicam. And this is gonna give us our monitor that we can look down at. I like using a yoke mount that attaches in the middle of the monitor. The reason for that is if you need to tilt it, it keeps your center of gravity for the monitor kind of right here, which doesn't throw off your forward-backward balance. If you're mounting it to the bottom here and using it as a tilt mount, like a lot of people mount their monitors, every time you tilt that forward and backward, it's just gonna throw off your center of gravity. So have power pass through here for our monitor. This is coming from this Tilta battery plate that we installed. This will take a V-mount battery and then this is giving me power to my monitor. HDMI will pass through this center post. So that's one nice thing about this Steadicam is that it's got both HDMI and analog pass-throughs. So if you want to run video from the camera, which I will through HDMI, just around to right back here, and then it runs it internally through the post and has a pass-through that you can plug into the monitor. So that's really nice. Obviously that's a feature of more expensive Steadicams, but not usually at this price point do you have that kind of pass-through ability. So we just need a V-mount here. And for V-mounts, pretty much all of our V-mounts are by Core SWX. They just make great products. All of their V-mounts feel really nice. They last a long time and they're just super quality. So we'll throw our V-mount onto the back here. And that's pretty much the main rig. So next what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip it from the build out point on this mount to throwing it over here and actually getting it balanced. Got a ways to go to get balanced here. So obviously the entire assembly needs to come back quite a bit. Slide it to the left just a little bit. And I'm just gonna try to get it as close as I can without moving the sled because it's limited on its range of motion. So now I'm gonna use our sled adjustments. And let's do our left to right here. We got a perfect level on the camera. I'm gonna go ahead and lock that down. Now let's check our drop time. We want this to be, you know, somewhere in between 2 and 3 seconds. 1, 2. Okay, it's a little fast. Where I'm at, I can't really take weight off the bottom. I have the minimum weight. I do need to pull off one of these. I think that would be really helpful. My options are to move the post up, to shorten the post, which I can't do. It's all the way at its maximum shortness. To remove weight from the top, which we can't do. We have our rig up here. We don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to move this gimbal down slightly, which will just offset the weight slightly towards the top and make that drop time a little bit slower. So we're going to push that up just a little bit. Lock that down. Let's try our drop test one more time. 1, 2, cool. That was pretty good. We'll do a spin test to see how. So our dynamic balance is way off, as you can see by the craziness that's happening as I spin this rig. So what I would need to probably do is do some adjusting, move these weights backwards, maybe move the monitor inwards a little bit. And then let's see how that affected our front to back. Now we move our sled forward to compensate. We're adjusting the dynamic balance now, which is just adjusting the relationship of these 3 weights to try to get them to, basically what you want to do is be able to rotate the camera without the horizon going all funky. So you want to be able to spin this and have it not do what you're seeing here, where it comes way out of balance as it spins. Okay, that feels pretty decent. Now we're going to put this back on this side and we'll get our vest on.
Austin's a really skinny boy. Like all of us here at GV, we're skinny boys. We're gonna chop a piece of this foam and I'm gonna try to stuff it in here so that it can give some more support. As you can see, I'm doing a really incredible job. This blade has definitely never been used. Perfect.
Oh, dude, let's go. Oh, that is so much more supportive.
Is it?
Yeah.
Sick, dude. You know what I call that? Innovate.
Got my vest on. Next up is the arm, which I slide in right here on the side, and then I stick this little pin down in there. Got your springy boys on now. Get the pin in there. Walk up close to it and let it just do the work for you. These are pretty dialed in actually. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna stand up and I'm gonna see where the rig wants to go. Okay, so it wants to go to my right. So what I need to do is I need to adjust my socket block. Just slightly to kind of tilt this in so that it doesn't want to pull to the right here. So I just do this with these little screws. And then let's try it again. Okay, it's pretty good. If it wanted to fly away from me, I could adjust this, which tilts it forward or backward, but that's pretty good. If I stand still, it wants to go in toward me slightly, but it's really not too bad. So we'll be operating this on a shoot today at a hospital, shooting an award for some nurses who won some Top Nurse of the Year awards. And so this will be the rig for our shoot today. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.